Hi and welcome to my new video and a new detailed how-to tutorial video on my channel. And if you are into watch related content, please subscribe. So thank you. As the title of this video says, it's a detailed how-to tutorial on every function and feature of this watch. You can jump through the steps of the video using the description. So let's get started. First, in a row of tutorials and instructions, I'm going to run through the modes of the watch. Modes of the watch are run through by pressing the mode button over here. That's the lower left button. The functions and the modes of these buttons are inscribed on this screen. So you have search, light, adjust, and the mode button. So pressing the mode button, we have the world time mode, we have the alarm, timer, stopwatch mode, and higher pitch of the sound gets us back to the standard timekeeping mode. What are the watch screen indicators? Over here you have your day of the week, you have your month and day. Also, this is the graphic area, which is basically your T1 time, that is this time over here. Over here you have your hour, minutes, and the settings. And PM indicator would be over here if the time is being shown in the 12-hour time format. And also you have the DST warning over here. And when the watch is muted, you will have it inscribed over here in this portion of the lower digital display. This is a multi-time watch, and this is the selling point of this watch, or one of the selling points of this watch. And you have your 4 time zones, let's say, that are on the speed dial of this watch. And your T1 time is currently shown over here. That is your main time. And that is presumably your main time or your home city time. You can shuffle between other 3 time zones by pressing the search button, that's the lower right one, and you can see what is the time in those time zones. As you can see, my primary time zone is Paris time zone, but you can switch between those time zones pressing the search button. Also, you can set your other time zone whilst in that other time zone, by pressing the adjust button and pressing and holding it until you hear the beep, and you will have it flashing on the upper left part of the screen. Pressing one of those 2 buttons over here, which will switch to the time zones, and also you will have your secondary time zone inscribed on that time zone. Let's say time zone number 2. We want to leave it at I don't know, let's find some city that we want to. This is Singapore time, and once we are done, simply pressing the adjust button will activate that time. So that time in Singapore time will become our time number 2. Again, pressing and holding it, so we are back at the setting the time. You can press the lower left button to engage DST, so daylight saving time, in the T2 time. By pressing the mode button, you can switch it on or off. So again, pressing the adjust button will implement all of those settings, and now you have your Singapore time on the standard daylight saving time mode, so non-daylight saving time mode, and your other times have remained the same. Remember that the T1 time is your main time. How to set the time and date on the Casio DW-291? Well, from the standard timekeeping mode, press and hold the upper left button, that's the adjust button, and the watch seconds will start to flash. Over here you have your seconds flashing. Now you cannot set the exact value of the seconds, but what you can do is reset that value by pressing the search button over here, that's the lower right button. Now once we have set our seconds, we will press the mode button, and we have our DST indicator blinking over here and here. This currently means that our daylight saving time is turned on. When I press the search button, it will be turned off. So pressing the search button will shuffle between on or off. Pressing the mode button once again, I'm getting back to setting my home city or your time zone. So whilst that is flashing, you can press this button or this button over here, which will rotate or shuffle between those time zones. So I'm gonna leave it at Paris, since Paris is my time zone. Pressing the mode button once again, we have the hours flashing. Now I can increase or decrease the value of hours by pressing this or this button. So pressing this or this to increase or decrease the value to set my exact value of hours. Next press of the mode button gets us to flashing of the minutes value. Now to set the minutes, procedure is the same as for hours, so pressing this button or this button over here will increase or decrease the value of minutes. So pressing one of those two buttons increases or decreases that value. Pressing the mode button once again gets us to flashing of 24-hour indicated over here. By pressing the search button, I can shuffle between 12 or 24-hour time format. I'm gonna leave it at 24-hour time format, but when it's at the 12-hour time format, you have the P indicator over here indicated if our time is in the PM region, getting back to 24-hour time format. Pressing the mode button once again, we enter the year setting value. Pressing the upper button or the lower button will increase or decrease the value of year value. Pressing the mode button gets us to month setting, so it's currently April and the 4 is flashing, but if you want to change it, press the upper or the lower right button. It will shuffle between the value of months. I'm gonna get it back to 4. 4 stands for April. Pressing the mode button, we enter the day setting value. So pressing the upper or the lower button will increase or decrease that value. So it's the 1st of April. I'm gonna leave it at 1. Let's press the mode button once again. We have the illumination duration setting, LT over here and number 1 indicated over here. When it's flashing 1, which means that when I press the illumination button, the watch screen will stay illuminated for 1.5 seconds. But I can shuffle it using the search button to 3, and when it's indicated 3 over here, when I press the illumination button, it means that the watch face will stay lit on for 3 seconds. I'm gonna get it back to LT1, so next time when I press my light button, the watch screen will stay lit on for 1.5 seconds. Pressing the mode button once again, we are back to beginning and setting the seconds value or resetting the seconds value, which means that we have ran through the cycle of setting the time and date. And once I want to implement all of those settings, I'm simply going to press the adjust button and the watch has implemented all of my settings to the time T1. How to mute your watch or how to mute these tones when I shuffle or press any of the buttons, how to mute that sound. Well, from the standard timekeeping mode, press and hold the mode button over here, that's the lower right one, until you have a mute inscribed on the over here. It will be written mute. So let's go. Press and hold the mode button. And you heard it. And here is a visual representation that the watch is muted. So now when I press the mode button or any other button, the watch will not make a sound. To turn it back on, simply again press and hold the mute button. And you heard the beep. Now when I press the mode button, alarm mode on the DW-291. From the standard timekeeping mode, press the mode button once, twice, and we are in the alarm mode on this watch. Your watch has a total of 5 alarms, each of which you can configure as a daily alarm or a one-time alarm. Daily alarm sounds at the preset time each day, and one time sounds once at the preset time, and then it's disabled automatically. You can also turn on or off hourly time signal that causes the watch to beep twice every hour on the hour. Now let's get started. Over here you have your alarms. Using the search button, you can shuffle between your 5 daily alarms and the hourly time signals. So pressing the search button, I'm shuffling between those alarms. Over here you have your alarm number indicator, so currently it's at 1. Pressing the adjust button will turn that alarm on. But this time it's a bit different. You have alarm 1, alarm number 1 on. This means that the current alarm with this 1 inscribed as over here, number 1 amongst the ALM, which means that the alarm will be a one-time alarm. So currently when I set the value of this alarm will beep only once. But when I press the adjust button once again, you have only on over here, which means that this alarm will be a daily alarm. So when I go and set my alarm value, and I'm gonna do that, so press and hold the adjust button, and we have our value flashing. Use the upper and the lower button to increase that value or decrease the value of your alarm. So let's say I want to get it to 12 o'clock. Pressing the mode button shuffles the settings to minutes. Now pressing this button and this button will increase or decrease the value of minutes. And once I'm done, I'm gonna press the adjust button. Now my one-time alarm is at 12 o'clock. To make this a daily alarm, I'm gonna simply press the adjust button once again. So now my alarm will beep every day at 12 o'clock exactly. To turn it off, simply press again the adjust button, and now my alarm is off. Pressing the search button, I'm gonna get it to hourly time signal, and to turn it on, simply press the adjust button, and you will have it indicated over here and the over here SIG. So it means that the hourly time signal is turned on. Pressing the adjust button, it will be turned off. Now I'm pressing the search button to show you that when I turn on the alarm, you will have it also inscribed over here, and it will say ALM, indicating that this watch's alarm is turned on. Those would be the basics of the alarm mode on this watch. World time mode. World time shows the current time in 48 cities or 31 time zones around the world. Now, first of all, let's get to the world time mode, and that's done simply by pressing the mode button once. You have WT indicated over here very briefly, which indicated that we are in the world time mode. This is the current time and date over here, indicated in the zone of the selected city code, and our selected city code is Madrid. So pressing the search button, I can shuffle between 48 cities or actually 31 time zones. So let's get to some time zone to find the time over there. So let's say I want to see what's the time in Tokyo. So currently we have 5:56 in Tokyo. It's the April of 2nd. Now I can turn the daylight saving time mode on or off in Tokyo by pressing and holding the adjust button, and pressing and holding it again. I'm gonna turn it off. Those would be the basics of a world time mode on this watch. Countdown timer. First of all, let's get to the countdown timer. That's done by pressing the mode button once, twice, 3 times, and we are in the countdown timer mode. It's indicated on this upper screen above. So over here you have your 1/10 of a second. These are your hours, minutes, and the seconds value. The countdown timer can be set within a range of 1 second to 24 hours. An alarm sounds when the countdown time reaches 0. So let me show you how to configure the countdown timer. Now I'm gonna set my time to be counted down, and by pressing the adjust button and holding it, you have your hours starting to flash. Now to increase or decrease the value of hours, I'm gonna press this button or this button over here. So pressing one of those two buttons, I'm gonna set the time to be counted down. Let's say I want it at 0 hours. Pressing the mode button gets flashing back to the minutes, and let's say I want to set 10 minutes. I'm gonna press one of those two buttons to increase or decrease that value. I'm gonna, let's say, leave it at 10. and pressing the mode button once again, there's the possibility for you to set the seconds value. I'm gonna leave it at 0, but to increase or decrease that value, you can press one of those two buttons. Now, once we are done with that, I'm gonna simply press the adjust button, and my time to be counted down is set to 10 seconds. Now, how to use that countdown timer? Well, simply press the search button and the watch will start to count down. Press that same button again to stop it, adjust button to resume it. So press this button to stop it, to start it, pause it, and reset it. And that would be the basics of the countdown timer mode on this watch. How to use the stopwatch mode on this watch? Let's get to the stopwatch mode. So by pressing the mode button from the standard timekeeping mode, so let's go press it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, and we are in the stopwatch mode. The stopwatch mode lets you measure the elapsed time, split time, and 2 finishes. The display range of the stopwatch is 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59.99 seconds. The stopwatch continues to run, restarting from 0 after it reaches its limit, until you stop it. The stopwatch measurement operation continues even if you exit the stopwatch mode. As exiting the stopwatch mode, while a split time is frozen on the display, it clears the split time and returns to the elapsed time measurement. So, what are the screen indicators regarding the stopwatch mode? Over here, you have your 1/100th of a second indicator. Over here, you have your hours, minutes, and the seconds value. So, how to measure the times with the stopwatch? First of all, let me show you how to measure the elapsed time. That's done by pressing the search button or the lower right button to start it. So this button to start, the same button to stop it, resume, stop, and pressing the upper left or the adjust button to reset that value. How to measure the split time? By pressing the start button over here, lower right one, pressing the adjust button to split. SPL is indicated on the screen over here. Pressing the same button to split release, search button to stop it, and the adjust button to reset that value. How to measure the 2 finishes? Press the start button to start it, press the adjust button over here, first runner finishes, that is the display time of the first runner. So press the search button to stop it. The second runner finishes, adjust button, split release, display time of the second runner, and the same button or the adjust button to reset that value. So that is basically the basics of the stopwatch mode on this watch. Thank you very much for watching, and if you are into watch related content, please subscribe. So thank you.